interesting. You know what I'm saying? None the least. And after watching all these upsets, like if you were to sit there and tell me that the Niners were going to lose in Cleveland, which is a trap game written all over it, without Deshaun Watson, I would have told you no way. I would have took any bet y'all would have threw my way. I say ain't no way in hell the Niners are going into Cleveland and losing that game. And also, Philadelphia going in undefeated, traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. I'm going to keep it 100 with you, man. I did not expect the Philadelphia Eagles to lose or the Niners to lose. I thought they were both going to go undefeated. Marvin said it's like any given Sunday. Facts, bro. And this is just another week that just reminds you of that, man. You saw a bunch of good games, you know? A bunch of good games. Marvin said for a second there, I thought the Rams were going to lose to the Cardinals. I know. The Cardinals had the lead. What a shock. I know. Facts. Craig Jockman, facts. And, man, I had a bet on 2 games. The first game I picked Bengals over the Seahawks, in which I thought Seattle was going to win at one point. And I won that game. The Seattle pulled the win off at the end. I mean, the Bengals pulled the win off at the end, so I won $20. I had another $20 bet on the Lions and Bucks. I picked the Bucks at home, and boy, was I disappointed. The Lions came out and won. And I broke even, so I didn't make any goddamn money this week on my bets, but it's cool. I mean, I just got my feet wet in the sand. I normally don't bet on football anyway, but, you know, when I, saw those games, I'm like, all right, my buddy in the produce section was like, come on, man, bet me. I'm like, all right, bet. So we'll do $20 bets on these games. And even Brandon Rogers threw a bet at me in the comment section. I didn't take that bet, but shit, if I'd have took that Bengals bet, he'd be owing me $20. So maybe that's a good thing Brandon Rogers and I didn't bet on that game. But I remember I saw his comment the other day, and I'm like, well, I already got $40 I've already made in bets. Maybe I need to kind of slow it down. But the NFL is just another example of this year has been very interesting. There's been a lot of wild upsets. And the Texans came out, played a good fucking game. And, Jockman, how much you want on my Texans, man? We played the Saints today, and I thought the Saints were going to beat us. I thought they were going to dominate us the same way they dominated the Patriots. I didn't think that the Texans were going to come in, and I knew it was going to be a close game, but I didn't think we'd be up 10 in the fourth. I actually had this game being very close, and I had the Saints pulling away with the victory. I thought they were just going to beat us the same way they beat, well, not maybe in the same manner they beat the Patriots, but I thought they were going to use that momentum and beat us. But honestly, I think Derek Carr was hurt. I think he had some hurt ribs. I saw he kept grabbing at his stomach, and that's a sign right there, maybe some cracked ribs right there. And I said, damn, he probably cracked his ribs. The guy's playing hurt. They can't put in Jameis Winston's sorry behind. But, to each their own. Texans go 3-3, so we got the bye going into next week. I like my my odds here. I'll go 3-3 going into the bye. I don't have a problem with that. I think the Texans got a bright future. I think we're still maybe a year or two away from playoff contention. I know you can say, well, will you make a wild card this year? I mean, it's possible. I just don't have the bar set high this year or next year. I think the Texans are in rebuild. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think this offense is congealing. I think you're seeing Nico Collins emerge like you saw today, and those fucking punk-ass referees were cheating. I thought we were going to lose to the refs at one point because I can, what's his name? That corner from, I can't think of his, not Davenport. I can't think of the corner from New Orleans kept holding Nico Collins right in front of the refs. The refs didn't say shit. Missing face mask penalty calls. I said, you know what, fuck it. If y'all are going to cheat and give it to the fucking Saints, I don't even give a fuck. Let them fucking win. I didn't even care anymore, bro. I turned the game off around probably about mid-tier, about the mid-fourth. When I saw that shit, I said, you know what, man, they've been getting away with calls the whole game. I said, you know what, fuck it. If you want them to win, let them win. Fuck it. I just turned the game off. And so, I was driving to work. I'm listening to it kind of a little bit on the radio. And then, of course, when we got the big stop on that fourth down to Derek Carr, I thought the Saints should have scored. If they would have kicked those 2 field goals and made them early in the game, they would have beaten us on that final drive with a field goal attempt. It's just their kicker was not, he's kind of ice cold today. But both teams played like shit. Texans played like shit for most of the game, and so did the Saints. So, you know, it was a game of errors on both sides, you know, and what's his name finally throws a pick, CJ Stroud. And if the guy that intercepted it, I think it was their linebacker or whatever, he had held on to it, then we went a touchdown on that drive because he ended up fumbling the ball. We got the ball back, got us new fresh set downs, and then we ended up scoring on that drive. And I'm like, you know what? If he would have held on to that rock, we would probably be having another story. The Saints probably would have won. But then also Nelson drops a fucking would have been a pick six on Derek Carr on the second drive of the game where he throws it right in his numbers, and that would have been bread and butter. That would have been a pick six, and Nelson would have returned that to the house. Texans would have been up 14-zip. So I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. You know, we're both capitalizing off each other's turnovers. Now officially, C.J. Stroud has 192 pass attempts. Finally threw his first interception, which it's okay, it's whatever. And the interception led to a fumble. We ended up getting the rock back anyway, and we ended up scoring on that drive. So I guess that's good, you know. Another Bills player sent to the ER. Who? If you would have told me the 49ers were going to lose to the Browns today, I would have said no way. I said they're going to blow the fucking, you know, they're going to blow them out bad. They're going to blow the doors off the roof against the Browns. And the Browns fucking won with like some no-name quarterback. It's fucking weird, but give credit to the Cleveland Brown defense that kept them in the game. Because that Cleveland Brown defense was nasty on Brock Purdy. If I'm correct, Brock Purdy threw for 73 yards. Ouch. That sucks. He only had 73 yards at one. I think it was like towards the middle of the fourth. He might have had more after that. I don't know. But, man, he played like fucking shit. And that Browns defense was fucking nasty today and kept the Browns in it. Oh, man, Seahawks shit the fucking bed. Look, Brandon's got his Bengals, man. I made $20 off your game, but thanks to Craig Jockman's fucking Lions, now I don't make anything. We just break even. And I was trying to tell that guy, look, man, we only got 2 games. If we break even, no one makes money. I'm like, let's throw a third game in there. And I'll take them boys and you take them Chargers for tomorrow. And he said, all right, well, let me think about it in the morning. I'm like, you got the home game here in Sophie Stadium. You got them Chargers. I got them boys. So I'm going to put my money on Dak. So we'll do a 20 and a winner take all, basically. Like, you know, it's the winner take all in that game. So he said, all right, I'll hit you up in the morning on it. Because I'm like, you know, no one made any money. We just all broke even. That's no fun. Let's do a tiebreaker. Fuck it. Someone got to break the tie. He said, who do you want? I said, I'll take them boys for tomorrow. You get the Chargers. And he said, well, don't Dak own the Chargers? I said, no, he's only 1-1 against the Chargers. So this is basically even matchup. And plus, you got the home game. So you got, you know, a more of an opportunity to advance, you know, to win. You know, you got the odds in your favor. So let's go ahead. I got them boys. You got them Chargers. Let's get it for tomorrow. Man, it was a bunch of good games. And one thing the NFL has taught me, man, it's any given Sunday. There's no guarantees in this shit. Who would have thought the Eagles were going to go into New York Jets and lose? I thought the Eagles were going to run. I know the Jets got a good defense. I understand that. But I for sure thought that the Eagles were going to run the fucking score up on them with Jalen Hurts and that offense. That offense is unstoppable. And today, the Niners offense and the Eagles offense was definitely contested, and they were definitely beaten, and they were defeated. And, you know, you got to give credit to that Browns defense and to that Jets defense. They were nasty, they were stingy, and they made it hard for both of those teams to get the offense going and kept the score real low. I always said this, if you don't got a quarterback, make sure you got a nasty defense that can slow the tempo down. And that way you can keep the score low. I said, if this score is under 20, Jets might have a chance to win. Same with the Browns. And both games were under 20. I think Browns won, 19-17. I think the Jets won, I think it was 20-14 or some shit like that. So both teams did a good job in keeping the score low so they don't have to try to compete with them on the offensive side. So they kept this a defensive game. I thought both teams did a pretty good job. You lost the bet to Dashy, damn. So what was the bet? Was it? Did you have I guess you had the avatar to the Bengals, but is there cash? Is it a humiliation bet? What's the bet? I guess curiosity killed the cat. Detroit beat the Bucks. I know. Detroit did go in and beat the Bucks, and that's unfortunate too, because I had bet the fucking Bucks were going to win at home. The Lions came in and won, and Craig Jockman's Detroit Lions look nasty. Like, that's another surprise team that may come up out of the NFC. So we're talking about a 49ers-Eagles NFC Championship game, but I said this the other day, that the Lions and the Seahawks are still kind of two sleeper teams that could possibly sneak in and may beat one of those teams. And I think, if anything, the Detroit Lions, I think Seattle could still do it too, don't get me wrong. But even though they did lose today, but I still think Detroit, with that high-power offense they have and the weapons they got, and the running back they got, Montgomery, that they picked up from the Bears, I think that the Lions have a great opportunity to make a run in the NFC playoffs. Listen, I would not be surprised if the Lions somehow get the second seed. As crazy that sounds, they'll lock up number 2. They can still technically get number 1, technically speaking, because they only have one loss. I think Eagles now, and the Niners got a loss. So the Lions might creep up and might make some noise. And be looking out for the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are the real deal. Last year they went 9-8. I thought they didn't deserve any primetime games. I remember I was criticizing their Thursday night football game this year when they played the Chiefs. And I said they didn't deserve it because they went 9-8 last year. But, well, my dad said, well, you got to understand, Detroit is predicted to win the NFC. The spotlight, they're going to have some more primetime games, and this is kind of good for the Lions. Good in previous years come out of Detroit in terms of football. So, again, that's, it was important for Detroit to flex on that Thursday game against the Chiefs, and they were able to pull it off, and they won the game, I think, 21-20, and that defense was stingy and contested, Patrick Mahomes. And Detroit has just been on fire, man. They're like a sleeper team. In my opinion, I think the Detroit Lions is the team that I think Dallas should have been with the weapons they got with Dak Prescott. The Lions are 5-1? Nasty, bro. That's the same thing, in my opinion, I think that the Cowboys should be right now. Like, we're talking about the Lions in the same sense that Dallas should have been. Dallas should be the team Detroit is right now. And that's unfortunate that that's not the case, because I had Dallas in the NFC this year. Everyone said, well, you're just saying that because of your trips to Dallas. I'm like, oh, I honestly believe that they've improved on the defensive side of the ball. They picked up some pass rushers and overshown. They got Micah Parsons still. They got Traylon Diggs. They got, their offensive weaponry and Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. I thought that they had the offensive output. I said, they don't necessarily need to really relate to the run game, but at the same time, we're going to test Dak's arm this year. I think Dak can pass for 4,000 yards here. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, he can still maybe get 3, a little over 3,000, but again, it was, to be fair, I overhyped the Cowboys this year. And that's the first time I've ever overhyped the Cowboys the way that I did. I said, oh, no, they're coming out of the NFC. This year, they're going to win the NFC. They got a good record against NFC East clubs. Dak Prescott does. I said, this is going to be the year where the Cowboys finally get over the hump. What's up, bro? Oh, the Rangers fucking got game 1 over the Astros. And the Rangers now are the real deal. And now they're the real deal, so it's going to be, a very fun and interesting and exciting series. I think the Rangers, with the momentum they got, I would not be surprised if they win the World Series this year the way that they're playing. For some reason, they turned it up on the right moment. They have not lost a single playoff game this year, if I'm correct. I think the Rangers are, in fact, 6-0 in the playoffs, and, won a game in Houston. They got game 2 tomorrow. If they could take the second game, even better. I mean, who knows with what this team is capable of. What do you think of the Raiders-Patriots game? The Raiders barely won. 21-17, but it was a win they needed. It was a nasty win, and they were kind of pulling away with it at first. I thought maybe they were going to blow the Patriots out the water, and then all of a sudden the Patriots led a score, and then the score was like 13-10, and so it was a close game. But now the Patriots are 1-5. Who would have thought? Who would have imagined that the Patriots would be 1-5? Dude, that shit is nasty. And the Patriots' only win was to the Jets. Rangers won 2-0. Yeah, I saw that. Like I said, man, Patriots lost, so they're 1-5. Raiders get the win. Cardinals should have beaten the Rams. They were dominating at halftime, but then the Rams just came out and ran up the scoreboard. Yeah. Ravens won against the Titans. The Ravens always have the Titans number, like matchup-wise, so that's why, like, I'm not surprised that, the Ravens, were able to beat the Titans, but they won in London, beat the Tennessee Titans, and Tannehill, I mean, I'm just going to say this, I think he's on his last year, maybe even in the NFL. Speaking of the Raiders-Patriots game, I know my Raiders still suck, but low experience. Well, I mean, like I said, I think your Raiders now won 3 games, right? Aren't they like 3-2 or some shit like that, or 3-3, something like that? I don't think they suck entirely. They got some marquee wins. It's still going to be a little while before, the next week. I can't wait till the playoffs. I know I'm like kind of jumping ahead of myself, but man, this week with all these upsets, man, it just goes to show you that there is no guarantees, and it's any given Sunday for all these teams, and anyone can win. And that's what's exciting about these matchups. The Niners and the Eagles lost to arguably the best 2 teams, the worst 2 teams in the league, or 2 of the worst 2 teams in the league. I would have never thought that the Jets and the Browns would have won, even though they were at home. I'm thinking, okay, these 2 games are blowouts, but man, now every team is lost, so there is no unbeaten team. We don't have to hear that shit about the unbeatens anymore. There is no team that stands out. So who's going to win the Super Bowl? It's kind of interesting now that it's 6 weeks, into it. We don't know who's going to win the bowl. Like, we have no clue. Who's going to win a Super Bowl? We have no clue. In my opinion, I think it still stands. The Super Bowl is going to go through Kansas City. I still think Kansas City's probably most likely the front runner to win in the bowl this year. As much, not entirely. I don't have any like hatred towards the Chiefs, but again, it's I wish them the best, right? They've already got 2 rings with Patrick Mahomes. Maybe they may get a third. Who knows? Maybe they'll get a third, but we don't know who's going to come out of the NFC. Who do they got coming out of the NFC side of the board? That's going to be the biggest question. The biggest question is who comes out of the NFC to take on the Chiefs possibly in the bowl. Because honestly, I think the Ravens are overrated. They can be beat. I don't see the Ravens beat the Chiefs to the playoffs in a playoff game. The only team I think I could possibly see contending with maybe Kansas City in the playoffs, other than maybe Buffalo, I would have to say maybe, let's see, I would say maybe Cincinnati. And that just depends if the NFL doesn't screw them again, like they have in the past. So, yeah, but NFL Week 6 recap. It was an interesting week. It was fun, exciting, and, a lot of intense matchups, man, intense games. Back and forth, but the Saints struggled to put points on the board. 2 missed field goals also did not help New Orleans at all. And therefore, we got the win, so we're 3-3 going into the bye week, which is much needed. Never felt so tired going home. Oh, absolutely. Interesting NFL week. Lost to the Browns. I even felt that stinger, and I'm not even a Niners fan. I could just feel the sting in these 49ers fans when they lost to the Browns, especially like when I was watching A-Bomb. You can feel it, that he had that stinger in him, and he's like, fuck, man. And that's why I was shocked. Like, I was like everybody. I was shocked that the Niners lost. I actually kind of wanted to go Niners and Eagles to go undefeated and just to have them play each other in a game where they both never lost, but obviously it's not going to happen now. It would have been nice, right? It would to me it would have been nice if Niners and Eagles would have remained unbeaten, just for the storyline build to it, because you know that them two are going to meet up later in the year. So you're like, okay, it's the battle of the unbeatens, who remains unbeaten, and da-da-da-da. I think that game was set for December. I don't know about you, but I would have been a little bit interested behind the hype and storyline behind it, but now it's just sounding like, well, both teams already lost. They've already got one L. So, like I said, it's going to take... it's been a lot of fun this year. This NFL season has just taught me that there's no... any given Sunday, that there's no guarantees in any win anymore. There's no guarantees. There's no guarantees that you're going to beat this team. And this week taught me that, especially when you saw the Niners and the Eagles go down to arguably two of the worst teams in the league, record-wise. So that's why I said there's no guarantees that anyone's going to win. And even the Chiefs look bad. Like, I mean, they're winning. Okay, I give them that. Like, they're winning games, but the difference is that even though they're winning games, they're still they're just struggling to get them. They're struggling. They're being contested. So even the Chiefs look weak in their 4-1 record or 5-1 record or whatever the record is. They still look like a weak 5-1 team. And I'm not trying to be a Chiefs hater. I'm just keeping it 100. There's no like decent team out there in the league that just stands out from the rest of them. You know, there's some talented football teams. Who would have thought the New York Giants would have almost beaten the Bills? The New York Giants almost beat the Bills. That's fucking crazy. I don't know about you guys, but real talk, I still can't believe Frisco lost. Oh, absolutely. No one saw that coming. I didn't see the Niners losing. Hell no. I thought they were gonna fucking lose. I thought Cleveland was about to get the fucking asses blown the fuck out. Especially no Deshaun Watson. I'm like, oh, this is easy dub. You know what? Maybe the Niners were looking past the Cleveland Browns. Maybe they were and just said, well, I see this as a 6-0. And, you know, we'll play next week and we'll kick the living shit out of whoever we play next. I'm thinking that might actually be the case. I'm thinking that the Niners probably were looking past the Cleveland Browns. And I mean, you can make the argument. I think it was probably the same way. Also, it was the same way also for the Eagles. I think the Eagles had overlooked the New York Jets. I saw this as just like an easy dub. Like, oh, we're just going to get this win. No big deal. New England's a good example of what happens when the Bills come and yet your talent retires. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. The NFL's any given Sunday, and I think this season taught it. There's no unbeatens now. No one's unbeaten. No one's special. No one is special right now in the NFL. And I think it's kind of wonderful now because I think a lot of teams are humbled now that they have a loss or two or more on their record. So it's kind of just saying, hey, there's a lot more parity in the league and teams can kind of make a run for a playoff spot later on down the year. And I think it's kind of fascinating. I like it. I like the competition. Who doesn't? You know, I love the competition. You know, I like the fact that a lot of these games are coming down to the wire and coming down real close and this and that. Like, who doesn't? I love fucking football, man. I live on this shit. You know, I still like college football a little bit more. But again, it's fun. You said Steelers are going to win the North? Really? Interesting. I think if I'm correct, didn't the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't they have a bye? I think if I'm correct, I think they do. They had a bye this week. I believe they did. I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. But I believe the Steelers had a bye. Ravens, wild card. Cool. Yeah, them Steelers look good. And especially after what's his name? Yeah, I called it. Yeah. Pittsburgh on a bye. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, well, yeah, now he just had a bruised knee. You know? So, like I said, this has been a fun NFL season. Very fun. I think Green Bay had a bye, I think. If I'm correct, didn't they? I think they did. I mean, I might be wrong. Pittsburgh on a bye. Cool. Yeah, but it's any given Sunday in the NFL. Any of these teams can win. There's no guarantee now. Any team could just go in and beat any team, and that's what kind of makes it fun and unique when you're watching football. Dead ass, yeah. Yeah, they did. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yes, the Packers got a bye too. I know the Texans got a bye this week, which I guess that's good. I don't have to live stream the game earlier. Not too many people jumped in, so I just said fuck it. I ended that bitch around the second quarter. I might think about doing like a stream with other people on it, and like doing like a panel or something, and do shit like that. You know, and that way other people can join in on the fun. You know. Like, to me personally, it sounds like that's more funner, is to get a panel going. We can all watch the game. You know, maybe we could do play-by-play reaction, you know, and commentary and that sort of ordeal. Find some people who are into football that are willing to do that. Mike Tomlin, give him some... You're right. Yeah, you're right. Tomlin's a pretty good head coach. He knows how to at least keep your team at 500 or better. And that takes a lot of talent. I don't think people give Mike Tomlin credit for that. But, you know, for him to be coach of the Steelers for like, what, 20 years, maybe 15, somewhere around there, and never had a losing season, dude, that's sick. And it's probably going to keep going, because I think this year he may have a winning record too. So it's just fascinating, man. I'm loving football right now. Football is fun to watch. Since 2007, yeah, Mike Tomlin is a true warrior. Everybody says he has a bad reputation for playing dirty. I'm like, he answered it best in an interview. He said, I do whatever it takes to win. I'm like, damn, that dude flat out admit he's a dirty motherfucker. But I like that shit because he's honest. He just said, I'll do whatever it takes to win. You know, when they took Nate Chubb out with that helmet hit, they asked him what he thought about it. He said, I do whatever it takes to win, like he didn't give a fuck. I'm like, damn. I thought he was going to go all woke and say, oh, I apologize, and, you know, we didn't mean to do that and shit, or try to, like, save face. But he just said, I do whatever it takes to win. Like, he gave no fucks. And that's what I kind of like about Mike Tomlin, is that he gives no fucks what the media says or what people think about him. He just goes out there and he coaches. And it is what it is. You either like him or you don't. Either you respect Mike Tomlin or you're just going to hate his fucking guts. And that's just how Mike Tomlin is. You know, and that's why I can kind of respect a head coach like that, because Mike Tomlin, you know, yeah, the only thing Mike Tomlin does, and I will admit, is he has the Steelers play down to their competition at times. Like, they'll lose to a really bad 2-5 team or a 3-6 team or something like that. But to be honest with you, Mike Tomlin throughout the years has still maintained a winning record in Pittsburgh. Every season he does it. He pulls it off. And one thing the Steelers are known for is their reputation. And their reputation may be bad, but that's still good publicity. Because not all publicity is good publicity. You know, sometimes the bad publicity is just as good as the good publicity. You know, so he's known he's known for being, you know, non-sympathetic. That's just how Mike Tomlin is. And Ben had a weak dive like Brady. I wonder how Ben's career would have been different if Pittsburgh didn't have to play Baltimore 2 times a year. Oh, absolutely. That's good, right? They beat the Ravens. What a fun, exciting football season has been. Are you guys not having fun with football? I mean, I am. I think it's exciting. I think, there's a lot of good teams out there with talent that still have time to make some noise and possibly make a playoff spot. I'm enjoying every bit of it. The 2002 realignment swapped to Indy, to North and Baltimore to the South. Oh, yeah. Me too, bro. Yeah. I'm loving football right now. It's fun. It is a fun sport to watch, whether it's college football or rather it's the NFL pro level. I enjoy watching both. Just as equally. I love watching college football. I love that shit. People have asked me which one you love more. I'm like, college football. Just imagine when they get the playoff thing rolling. The top 12, oh my God, you're going to see the demons come out of everybody in that one. When they finally have an actual legit fucking playoff, which I wish it would have been this year, but it's really not till next year. Would have had like 10 titles in the North. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the pesky Ravens are always a nuisance in their hair. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah, I made my week pick 6. Yeah, our Ben did that. I did that on a video like videos back. And I did have the Saints beating us. I thought the Saints were going to beat us. I for sure thought that the Saints were going to come in and beat us. So I thought the way they dominated New England, I thought that this was going to give them the momentum to beat us. I for sure thought the Saints had this win in the bag, that they were going to win this game. I'm dead ass sure. Like, I even picked Atlanta to beat us, and I got that game right. So I was like, yeah, I think the Saints, the way their momentum is, they were 34-0 to the Patriots. I said, I don't see how they don't take this momentum in the NRG and sneak out with a 3-point win. I turned my Pick'em tournament to bet Welch A-bomb. What? You did what? Tournament name to bet Welch A-bomb. Oh, okay. That's weird. That's why you call yourself Simpleton in the ATL? Okay. It's kind of weird. And I made my week 6 picks also for Sports Live, and I always share it to your DMs on Instagram. I always send them, and I'm going to be doing my picks early tomorrow actually, because I'm leaving to Dallas for 2 days. So I'm going out of town again. First time in Dallas in 6 months. I'm going to be gone for 2 days. So I'm leaving on Wednesday morning. I won't be back till Friday. So basically I'm going to be doing my picks tomorrow and just get it over with. And do that. I need you to stop talking to A-bomb. First of all, I don't even talk to the guy. What are you talking about, bro? I don't even talk to him. I don't hate him. I don't have beef with him. We don't talk. So I don't know exactly where you get your sources from, but we don't speak. You must be referring to somebody else, because I don't talk to him like that. I mean, I don't have beef with him. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just don't talk to him. I don't talk to him like that. I saw you on the live stream, Steve. Okay, when you're referring to the comment that I left, I said that the Niners should have won. That's all I said. It's not like we had a full-fledged discussion. He was ranting about the Niners. I was shocked just like anybody else. The Niners should not have lost that game. And that's all I said. The Niners should not have lost. And then I got right the fuck off because I was at work. So it's not like we had like a full-blown convo. You're misinterpreting One thing I said in a sentence, I said the 49ers shouldn't have lost. That's all I said. It's not like it was, I didn't say anything else. It's not like it was a conversation. We weren't going back and forth. He was just ranting, saying that that there were some bad calls or something. I was just like, I didn't watch the game personally. I didn't see the highlights. I just said the 49ers shouldn't have lost. Technically, they shouldn't have lost to the Browns. That I do agree with. It's fucking weird how that happened. And then the Eagles losing to the Jets is another shocker. I did not expect to see that. Like, I did not expect to see that. Just like the Cardinals almost beat the Rams. Almost. That shit was crazy. That shit was insane. A lot of NFL upsets this week. A lot of them. And I didn't expect to see the games turn out the way they did. And it's just like, again, it goes to show you. And I mean, dude, look, Buffalo almost lost to the Giants. The Giants almost beat the damn Bills. The Giant defense played nasty today in Buffalo and still almost got out with the win. I don't know what happened to Daniel Jones, but again, I didn't know. Like, again, it's crazy. Like, I did not know that the Giants had a nasty defense like that. Like, they almost beat the Bills. It's just like any given Sunday now. It's just crazy how football has been this year, but it's been fun. Rachel said Derek Carr's playing with hurt ribs. I know, and that's so sad. I honestly think he might have fractured ribs, and I think he's playing on it. I just think he doesn't want to sit out. I don't blame him, but he looks hurt, man, and I feel bad because he's a good player, and the last thing you want to do is go down like injury. And the Saints got a good roster. You got Michael Thomas, you got Alvin Kamara, Derek Carr, their defense, Granderson was like all over our guys, man. It was just nasty. The Saints got a good football team. This game could have went either way. In fact, I had the Saints beating us. I really believe that they're and the Saints now have an opportunity to make some noise, and they can make some noise on death's door. I think that the Saints, possibly. I still have them winning the NFC North. I mean the South. Sorry, South. I still got them winning the South. I know the Bucs are like 3-2 or whatever, but I still think, depending if he's healthy, I still think that the Saints are going to win the NFC South. I still got them winning probably 9 or 10 wins. They don't really have to win a lot of games. I don't see Carolina. Carolina's done. The Panthers are fucking done, my dude. I just, it's just been a fun, exciting football season. I'm all happy for it, and it's just been fun and entertaining, and I've had a lot of fun watching these games, and they're fun and exciting to watch. I don't have any complaints. I hope you guys don't. Yeah, I had a $40 bet, but I had it on the Bengals Seahawks, and I won the Bengals game, got the 20, and then I ended up losing the Bucs game, and that's what broke even. And I'm trying to get him to bet on tomorrow's game. I got the Cowboys over the Chargers, and he's gonna, he told me he's gonna think about it, and he said, well, if I do, I'll take the Chargers. And I'm like, all right, well, let me know about tomorrow. We'll bet, so that way there's like a winner, kind of like a winner take all, if that makes sense. So I'll stick with the boys, and then you get the Chargers. To me, that sounds like a pretty fair bet. I think that's fair to both teams. In fact, the Chargers are probably, predicted to win because they're at home, so they're probably going to have, a 3-point spread or something like that. It was fun, man. It's been a fun NFL season, and I'm looking forward to next week's games and having the opportunity to, have another good week. Chargers are the underdogs. Yeah, they are. I don't care what anybody says. Eagles and Niners should have won. They both should have won today. It's just so shocking how the NFL is just so, unpredictable this year. There's really, after these losses by the Niners and Eagles, you can't tell me who's the best team in the NFL. I mean, even the Chiefs are not playing like the way that they should be as the defending champions. But I still think the Chiefs are in the driver's seat to win. Chargers underdogs by 1.5. Okay. Like I said, he's taking the Chargers. I'm taking them boys. So hopefully, like, maybe a winner gets $20. Or if I lose, I'll just give him the 20. And he works at Fiesta, so I'll just, take the 20 out and give it to him. Like I said, it's unpredictable how the NFL has been this year, and it's been fun and exciting. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying it, because with all like the war and everything going on and all the crap you see going on the news, it's really hard sometimes to focus on the things that are going on currently in your life, because you see a lot of people like dying and stuff, especially those images. Oh God, I could, like, I was damn near crying when I started crying when I saw the images that I saw from this recent one. I'll just leave it at that. But I started crying. I couldn't believe it. It's just, how cruel as humans we can be. And it sucks. Sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think any of us deserve to be saved. And I know that sounds like well, you can't compare yourself to I'm like, and I understand that, but sometimes you just wonder, like, are we as humans, are we going to go to hell? Like, are we going to burn in hell, for this shit? And sometimes you feel like we as humans can't be saved, like, especially after all these wars and how we treat each other, whether it's online or whether it's, during the art of war. Sometimes you just wonder, like, are we even worth saving? Like, are we even worth saving? And I know it sounds crazy, because you can say, well, there are good people in this world. Absolutely. There are good people. I'm just wondering sometimes if it's just even worth saving us humans. Like, if we're even worth saving at times. I don't mean to go biblical or religious on you guys, because I'm not a religious person, but sometimes I feel that way. Like, when I watch the shit that goes on the news. Again, I'm not trying to compare and say, oh, well, you're like that person. No, I'm not like saying that, but at the same time, I'm just saying collectively as humans, are we worth saving? Is it even bother worth saving us? Like, because humans in general are savages, bro. Like, we're savages. And you would just think, with all this technology, education that you have going on, you would think that we would learn from our past mistakes. But the way that society works is it seems like to me history always finds a way to repeat itself, and we always just find ways to repeat the same behaviors. And now you're seeing all this stuff going online and stuff, and the way that our country's headed, just sometimes you can't help but sometimes you just can't help but to not wonder if it's like I'm not gonna lie to you, like, if I was God, I wouldn't even want to save us. And I'm not saying I'm God, but I'm just, giving an example. Like, sometimes I feel like humans are not worth saving. I just feel like we're just savages, man. And it really pains me to say that, because I'm human and I have feelings just like you do and the next guy does, and we all care about each other to a degree. I would like to think so. But just the way that people treat each other nowadays it's terrible. And, there are some decent people out there. I will say that. I'm not going to sit here and say that everybody's bad, but, at the same time, it's just the way that humans are. It's just like filthy savages. Sometimes you just wonder, like, is it just worth it? Why not just bomb the whole fucking world and just get rid of us? Sometimes you just feel that way. Like, is it worth even saving us? Sometimes I feel that way, man. And it's unfortunate. The way we treat each other, the way we are to each other, the way we are, as humans. It just sucks. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, you sound like a wuss or a pussy, but I'm like, it's not really that. It's just, look at all the bad stuff going on in the world. in our society, and you just figure, is there any hope at all, like, for humans? Like, is there any hope for us, or are we just doomed to fucking repeat history? History repeating itself. Are we just doomed to repeat history and just doomed for failure and just doomed to be sent to the depths of hell? Sometimes you just, I don't mean to go biblical on you guys. I'm just keeping it 100. Sometimes it just, sometimes you just feel that way, Rachel says, sometimes I feel like giving up, but you just can't do it. I know. I've had those days too where I wake up and I just want to give up and just say, fuck it, I throw in the towel. Not like suicide, but more like just say, fuck it, I just don't care anymore. Like, sometimes you, as a human, you feel that way about yourself. You just want to give up. You just say, fuck it. You just get so stressed out the way people treat you, or maybe if you might, treat others, and it's just like a vicious cycle. And it's just sometimes you just want to give up. You're just like, fuck it, I don't care anymore, and you just throw in the towel. Like, and maybe there are days where you do want to be nice to people, and you do want to have friends, and you do want to open up and say, okay, fuck it, I want to go ahead. And then people just treat you like crap, and you're just like, you know what, man, fuck this shit. You just eventually you just throw in the towel. You just say, fuck it, I'm tired of this shit. And you have, everybody, I guess, has those days, about them. And it's unfortunate. It's sad. It's a sad society. We've desensitized ourselves from violence and desensitized ourselves from having any heart for one another. It sucks. The whole thing sucks, man. And it's like, yeah, I'm not blaming you for watching this video and saying it's your fault, but I'm just, saying as general society, we treat each other like garbage, man. Shit sucks. Don't you ever, like, sit back and get tired of it? Don't you ever hate it? Like, don't you ever say, I hate the way that we treat each other? Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm born on another planet or something. I don't know, but I feel that way a lot of the times. Sometimes I feel like that, and you get tired, and you just say enough's enough, and sometimes you want people to get along, you want people to start caring for one another, and then as soon as you see all this shit going on in the world and the way, sometimes you just say fuck it, you just throw in the towel. You just have like those moments where you just break down mentally, and you just say, I'm just sick of it, and especially like if you're someone who's misunderstood and people treat you like crap, you just say fuck it. You just get tired of it, man. And it's an unfortunate, dire, fucking vicious fucking cycle that we have in society, and it sucks, man. I'll be the first person to tell you that it sucks. I had a day like that today, man. I had a bad fucking day today. It was horrible today, even despite the fact football was on. It took my mind, but I didn't have a really good day today, and I'll leave it at that. And I had almost a panic attack, and it was just like, sometimes you just say fuck it, you just throw in the towel, you just don't care anymore. And it's hard, it's hard at times. Certain people will make your life a living fucking hell. You know what I'm talking about. People will make your life a living fucking hell. And it's so hard sometimes to focus on the good when you just have to reach those, times. All it takes is just one person to fuck your whole day up, man. Like, you could be having a good day, so I'm gonna have a good day. And it just takes that one person to just fuck your whole day up. And your whole day goes to shit. And it sucks, man. It really does. Because the way we treat each other, it sucks. I don't mean to get all soft on you guys, but I'm just being honest. Like, it sucks the way that human beings treat each other. It really fucking does, man. This shit sucks, man. I don't know, maybe I just put too much into this shit. Maybe I'm just losing my mind. I don't know. But yeah, any given Sunday, man. Football was fun this week. For the most part, I had a fun time, and I think watching the games were fun. I think football brings people together, and win or lose, you want your team to win, and that's it. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm home. I'll go lay down. I'm tired. I'm gonna get some sleep. So I'll see you guys probably my next stream, man. Y'all take care, man. Peace.